Hey guys, Invader Guy 78 here. Today on the How to Do More Damage series, we're going to be covering just an overall introduction to Fl4. Kicking off the start of the video, as I normally do, we're going to be looking at the damage formula, whereby Fl4 easily has the best in the game. They have a very large amount of V1, so just global damage dealt boost from their skill tree alone. So in this video, I'm not just going to start off with guns. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter video to just cover what it means to have this much global damage. It means that Fl4 has the most gameplay variety in the game, and I'd like to start with that. And so here we have our the different boosts that you get, color coding, blah blah, and from global damage, look how much stuff there is. There's power inside. Interplanetary Stalker and Frenzy are easily the biggest ones you're going to be. They're the bulk of your damage. There's Pack Tactics, the Skag bonus, the small, and Empathic Rage. This is the bulk of your damage right here. And then for conditional damage, you're getting a bit from Hidden Machine, Hunter's Eye. The Deadeye class mod is not good though. These are a little smaller, bit more niche, but they're there. And you're not always getting other sources of conditional damage. For crit, this is something I'm going to have to talk about later in the gun video, but for true scale crit, we have Most Dangerous Game, Galactic Shadow, these skills. The ones that have scale are regular crit damage that apply to the 2x base multiplier, and are headshot bonuses. Fade Away, Unblinking Eye, the Rack Crit Anoint, and Hunter's Eye are post-add crit, so they don't scale off the crit bonuses from the last one. They kind of suck. And Fade Away and Unblinking Eye are fake crits, which I will talk about in another video. For elemental damage, for just all elements, you get Spider-Man Scorcher. It's scale like most other bonuses. Interplanetary Stalker has a multiplicative corrosive bonus, actually. Because it's a pre-add, which is not scale, like every other corrosive bonus in the game. This means Fl4 is extremely strong with corrosive, and that's something I'll talk about later. And corrosive is already the best element in the game. And then you have this. And for gun damage, Fl4 doesn't have a lot in tree. These skills are kind of small. They're there, but they're kind of small, and you get more damage from your anoints. But you'll see the stack bot. And the stack bot is used all the time for boss melts with guns, because it's up to like 495%. Now, why is this so good? Well, having a very damage formula in your tree that applies globally gives you a great starting point for your build, a really nice floor to work off, and you can start mixing in and throwing in all other kinds of boosts from other sources, like gun damage, elemental, grenade, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and then you just get a free like 80% or so multiplier just applying to all your damage. So you use gear and anoints to cover the modifiers that you don't get from your tree. Like I've been saying since the first episode. But here's the kicker. Things that cannot be boosted easily, like Shield Novas, still get your damage dealt buff. Which means that Fl4 just has the easiest time doing damage in the game with everything. And also just makes double dips go insanely hard on Fl4. And you just play out however you want. You don't really need to care about, oh, can my character support this? Because you have best non-gun support. Now let's look at how this damage is being applied. So here we have the tried and true, Skags, nothing skill points. I'm going to take off this Frozen Heart. And let's just throw light speed. Okay. Does 95,000 damage. If we go into photo mode, let's see. We can see 95,000, 18. And if I melee them, 142,000, and racks do 940,000. So now let's pick, say, the Skag. You'll see this just says damage. It just has damage. There's no gun damage, nothing like that. And some of these other skills, like Frenzy, that just says damage. Interplanetary Stalker just says damage. But if you look at Hunter's Eye, this says armor damage because it's conditional, not just global damage. So this is why it's the V2, as the kids say. And there's some other skills. You know, these are big numbers that Fl4 is getting, and so if I just put on the rack, skag, I mean, it goes up a little bit. See that? Melee went up by a little bit. Racks are now doing. Let's see. Oh, I didn't get to see. But the grenade does more damage, 100,000 instead. So now I spec in the frenzy and let the pet take some damage. Let's see. Okay, let's see. 172,000, 1 million, and now the racks do 1 million. The damage just went up. So now let's put Interplanetary Stalker into the mix. It keeps going up. Look at that, 204,000. 156,000. It's going up. Just damage. It applies to everything that you have. It's for this reason that you'll see that a lot of Fl4 builds sort of have this basic structure in their skill tree. Kind of the skeleton, where you use the Spider Ant Scorcher to give you a little bit of an elemental damage buff, since you don't have any more of that in your skill tree. And you have all these skills that just increase your damage. Just damage dealt. A little bit of conditional too. And then you kind of just optimize your build from there. This build, even this, you can change around a little depending on what you're doing. But some key skills are like Interplanetary Stalker, Big Game, Frenzy, Eager to Impress, and maybe Hunter's Eye. That's kind of just the basics that every Fl4 build takes, because it's just your good baseline for damage. And then you optimize as you go. Here's a little showcase of what Fl4 can do overall. So this was a grenade Fl4 that I just decided to turn into a little slam build. I could probably push it further for specifically slams, but I was a bit lazy. But it doesn't matter, it just works. I'm not even using a static charge to further boost the spark plug. It's just working. And Amara can do this too, but anything Amara can do, Fl4 just does better, because global damage. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching, and do more damage.